Hello everyone, Denise here. Today we are going to be making this V-stitch vest. So the materials that we will need are yarn, a hook, a tape measure, a pair of scissors, a stitch marker, and something to weave in our ends. Now I say yarn because we can use any yarn we choose. We can use any hook we choose. We just need a measurement, and that is where our tape measure comes in. We are going to measure our back from shoulder to shoulder, and I'll draw you a quick picture here. A little book I got from Dollar Tree. A pen to go with it. I love it. So we are just going to, this is us. Okay, so once we get started with our pattern, we need to know measurement from our shoulder to shoulder here. Don't have the measurement now, that's okay. Just you can work the rows up and then we'll go from there. We are going to start with a slip knot. And we are going to chain 4. If you want to do the magic circle, you sure can. Going to slip stitch into that first chain there to make our circle. And then we're going to chain 3. And then we are going to do a V-stitch. And what a V-stitch is, there are many variations of V-stitch. However, we are going to do the basic V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So that is a V-stitch. So now we're going to do a V-stitch after our chain 3. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. But we're not done. We're going to chain 2 and then we're going to do another V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then we're going to do one more double crochet in this so that we match. We have one over here that was a chain 3 and we don't want to be lopsided, so we need to do a double crochet on this side. Okay, so that is our row 1. On to row 2, we are going to chain 3 and then we're going to turn our work. Now we are going to do a V-stitch in between the first 2 stitches of this row. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then we are going to do a V-stitch, chain 2, V-stitch in the center part of our vest. So a V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then we are going to chain 2 and do another V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then we are going to go in between the last 2 stitches and do a V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then we are going to do a double crochet in the top of this last chain 3 space here. I can get my hook in there. And then that is our row 2, and we increased on each side and we increased down the middle of our vest, and that is what our stitch marker is for. We are going to mark the center of our vest so that we never forget where we need to do the V-stitch, chain 2, V-stitch. Otherwise we'll end up lopsided and wonky, and we don't want that. If you are interested in owning some of these iHeart yarn stitch markers, I have a couple of sets in my Etsy shop. Okay, so we are gonna go on to row 3. On to row 3, we are going to keep increasing. We are going to chain 3, turn our work. We are going to do the V-stitch like we did before in this first space in between the first 2 stitches. We are going to do another V-stitch in between the next 2 V-stitches. And then we are going to do our increase because I see the stitch marker, so then I know we need to do the V-stitch, chain 2, V-stitch in this part because this goes down the center of our back of our vest. So we do V-stitch, chain 2, V-stitch. And then we move our marker up where it belongs. I know it's tedious, but it surely helps keep track of where your stitches need to be. Now moving on, we're going to mirror what we did on this side. So in between these two V-stitches, we are going to do a V-stitch. And in between the last two stitches, we're going to do a V-stitch. And then we're going to do a double crochet at the top of that chain 3. And that is our row 3. We're going to keep increasing, and we're going to keep increasing until we get that measurement that we want in between our shoulder to shoulder measurement, so that we know where to put armholes. We get to the measurement that we need in between our shoulders, and I still need somebody to measure me, so I do not know my measurement as of yet. But I will be working on this each and every row I do on the vest until I get to the measurement that I will have for my shoulder to shoulder armhole part of the pattern. So I'm going to keep increasing, and I need someone to measure my back. So I'm going to keep increasing. I'm going to chain 3. I am going to put an increase at each side of the vest, and down the center I'm going to do that double. So I'm going to keep doing that, and I will be back in a bit when I have my measurement. Okay, so I'm going to grab my tape measure, and I'm going to measure from shoulder to shoulder on this mannequin. She doesn't have arms. So I'm going to say 15 inches. You'll count 6 stitches from the edge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're counting V stitches. That should be your 15-inch mark right there. So right here is where the next row, that is where I would do the armholes for this mannequin. This mannequin, I would guess, is an extra small or a small size. So that would be your small size. You always want to count 6 V-stitches from the end, both sides, and that measurement right there should be your shoulder measurement, or approximately that. And the reason we do the 6 V-stitches, we're counting from the 6 V-stitches, is that once we keep continuing going after we do our armholes, and we keep going and going, this is going to continue to get longer on our vest. On the front of it, we are going to have these 6 stitches that we're going to skip, and they are going to continue to get longer and longer this way and go down the front of your body. So it will create the front of your vest as we increase now after the armholes, and the back will continue to go down your back. Mine needs to be, well, my daughter measured me, mine needs to be 21 inches. And then I'm going to do the armholes. Okay, so I am at 21 inches and I am 6 V-stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, away from the edge. So here I am going to stop, and this row I am going to do the armholes.